Months after criticizing the Affordable Care Act in front of the president, a respected neurosurgeon says it could be the reason that the IRS came calling.
Dr. Benjamin Carson says he was audited months after speaking in front of Mr. Obama. Anjanette Levy sat down with Dr. Carson in his first local television interview about this experience.
Thank you so much for this wonderful honor to be at the stage again.
In February, Dr. Benjamin Carson spoke at the National Prayer Breakfast. President Obama was seated to his left. Dr. Carson, a renowned and now retired neurosurgeon, voiced his opinions about health care, which differ from the president's.
Here's my solution. When the person is born, give them a birth certificate, an electronic medical record, and a health savings account, to which money can be contributed pre-tax from the time you're born to the time you die. When you die, you can pass it on to your family members so that when you're 85 years old and you got 6 diseases, you're not trying to spend up everything. You're happy to pass it on, and there's nobody talking about death panels.
4 months later, in early June, Dr. Carson said the IRS asked to review his real estate holdings.
After completing that review and finding no problems, they decided they would do a full-scale audit. And after completing that and finding no problems, they decided they would do another year.
Dr. Carson says the IRS completed its audit in August and found no problems. His contact with the agency started after IRS officials admitted to improperly scrutinizing Tea Party groups applying for tax-exempt status. Those applications were initially flagged here at the Cincinnati office of the IRS.
Do you truly believe that your comments triggered the IRS contacting you?
If I had to guess, were they somehow related or were they not, I would go on the side of them being related.
And you don't believe this was a coincidence at all?
I don't think it was.
Dr. Carson, who identifies himself as being independent of any political party, calls the issue with the IRS bigger than Watergate and Iran-Contra.
When we have a situation where a major branch of government is involved in partisan politics, it really decreases the trust of the populace.
IRS employees have said they sought guidance on processing Tea Party applications from the agency's office in Washington, D.C. 2 House committees are investigating the IRS handling of applications by Tea Party and other groups. The IRS did not respond to an email asking about Dr. Carson's audit.
The president and others said that this was abominable, that this was happening. There's no way that something like this should be going on in the United States, and they would get to the bottom of it. Have they gotten to the bottom of it? Of course not. Is there any interest in getting to the bottom of it? Of course not.
In Cincinnati, Anjanette Levy, Local 12 News.
Now, Republicans maintain Tea Party groups were targeted for their political beliefs, but some top Democrats say IRS employees were overwhelmed by the flood of applications. There was no political bias. Lois Lerner, the IRS manager in charge of Exempt Organization Division, resigned last month.